What's going on, everybody? It's time for another episode of In This Very Ring, right here on A2DRadio.com. It's your boys. We're back. It's Ritz. It's Butters. Butters, let's talk about it. God, what? So, Butters, first of all, brother, how are you?
I am golden. I am good. I have actually had some real sleep for once in my damn life.
What's that?
You know that thing you're supposed to get like 8 hours of a day, but you know.
Fam. Real sleep. That's cute. That's a joke. We here at In This Very Ring are brought to you by our doc, Dr. Paul Vidal. Make him yours with Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. He's got 3 locations. Check him out at Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton, in New Jersey. Also find him at SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. Also, Michael Ambrose and the guys at Ambuck Services. They are the gutter and deck experts of South Jersey. Make sure you give them a call at 856-879-5530. Snow's coming. Time to get your gutters and decks cleaned.
Time to get your ducks cleaned.
Gutters and decks. That's what I said.
Yeah, but you almost said ducks.
Well, get your duck cleaned too. Ducks need love too, man. QB54 brings us our poll question today. I didn't write the show, so hold on. The 2020 draft. So we write. So we'll pull back the curtain a little bit. Every week we write the show. We write what the poll question is going to be. We do a little description for YouTube and everything like that. And for the most part, I write the show. Right? Well, today it was about 1:00 in the afternoon. I was sitting at work and I went, "Oh my God, I haven't written the show yet." So I messaged Butters and I said, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing?" He goes, "Nothing." I said, "Good, you're writing the show." So our poll question brought to you by QB54, the best tailgating game in the business. Check them out at playqb54.com. The 2020 draft truly shook up the WWE landscape. Agree, disagree. We've got people chiming in already. We got Pete Evans from Lazy Booking and Birds of a Feather saying, "Yo, fam, what's up, Pete?"
What up,
Frank
Pete?
Vespi, "Hey, yo, sorry to bother you at work. After reading what happened, I do believe it shook up the wrestling landscape. I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time." Damian Hernandez, what's up? What's going on, Damian? So, Butters, let's see what you think. You wrote it. Did it shake it up or not?
So, when I come up with this question, I'm trying to figure out something, a question good enough for the week, good enough related to the draft, and it's the first thing that popped up. So, quite honestly, I know it's my question, but I got to disagree with this one because I feel like it didn't shake up anything. All they did was they took storylines and swapped shows. I mean, how can you shake something up if all you're doing is literally almost swapping shows with people, except for a lot of your main champions, because a bunch of your main storylines, like your Seth Rollins Dominic storyline, that went over to SmackDown. AJ and Jeff Hardy, they went over to Raw. Like, what are you doing? If you're truly supposed to shake something up, shake it up. Don't just, we're going to send this storyline here, we're going to send this storyline here, we're going to keep this storyline here. Every single time it seems like with a draft, SmackDown's doing a whole lot better than Raw. They try to strip SmackDown to make Raw better, and it never fails. SmackDown still does better. So what are you shaking up if everything's the same?
So here's where I'll go with that. Because as you were talking, I was sitting here and I was thinking, and I was thinking back to drafts of yesteryear and how Raw and SmackDown used to look, and I can't help but go back to Edge, Eddie Guerrero, Undertaker, Rey, that SmackDown class from years ago, and how SmackDown was treated back then. SmackDown wasn't treated as the B show. No. SmackDown was treated as the place for people to go and grow and kind of establish themselves back then. And now
I guess you could say it was the NXT at the time.
It kind of was. It had the better stories. It was more compelling. It had the more high profile matches. When you look back on it, in the moment, you were like, "Man, Raw's a better show," because Raw was always edgy. It was exactly what it needed to be. It was Raw. It wasn't on network television. It wasn't on basic cable. Whereas SmackDown was UPN for the longest time, and whatever the hell UPN turned into.
I don't know what it turned into, but I miss those days.
Tom Arnone chiming in, my guys, what's going on, Tom?
What's up?
And David Roska saying SmackDown 2002 was awesome. It was, though. But so when I look back on those drafts, and I look back at like when Triple H moved over to SmackDown in 2008, which, by the way, I'm on that show. Just saying. If you go back, I swear, I'm going to tell you right now, if you go back and you watch SmackDown after Triple H is drafted, and you watch, don't you do it right now.
I'm not doing it right now. I'm writing a note for myself, sir.
And you keep looking, you will find a very young Ritz in the crowd at the Toyota Center. And he's there the entire night. Which I don't, so funny story, that's back when SmackDown was taped, right?
Yeah.
So, and ECW came on after. ECW was live. So I'm sitting there throughout SmackDown, watching SmackDown, enjoying it, right? Blah, blah, blah. ECW goes live on the USA Network, and my buddy texts me. He goes, dude, you're on TV. So the entire night, I didn't realize I was on TV till like the last hour of being there. It's actually kind of fun when you look back on it because that was a go-home show before a pay-per-view. But anyway, so I was on pay-per-view too.
Oh, yeah.
Tom wants to know what the poll is. The poll is the 2020 draft truly shook up the WWE landscape.
And that's, and that's what they try to do.
I'll just agree for fun. LOL.
That's what the draft tries to do is shake up the landscape, shake up the storyline, shake everything up. And as I said, that what are you shaking up if all you're doing is swapping brands on storylines?
And in my really long-winded statement that I had, right? Because I went on about 15 different squirrel moments throughout that. I wish there was like a kind of agree, kind of disagree option, because in certain aspects, I thought they did, right? We sat here on this show last week previewing night 2 and said there's no way in Schitt's Creek that The Fiend is going to end up on Raw. And what do? Right out the gate, they move him to Raw.
Yep.
And so that, I thought that was huge of a move to do. And we're going to go through round by round and kind of talk about the different things, but there were certain things that they shook it up really, really well, and it set things up. And there were other things where, like, for example, moving Seth and Dominic and Ray over to SmackDown, moving AJ and Jeff to Raw, and keeping storylines, moving the Street Profits, and then Rude and Ziggler, right? That doesn't really do it for me.
Yep.
But in the same context of breaking the New Day up, breaking Heavy Machinery up, that's where it was kind of like, okay, and 3 Count Thursday chimes in saying, in some cases, the draft did shake up the landscape, absolutely. And I agree. 100% I agree. Yep. So I'm kind of indifferent on it. Yes, I think it shook it up. No, I don't think it did. When you look at round by round, did this round shake up the draft? Yes or no?
And that
shake up the draft? Yes or no?
And that's where you got to look at that's the bad part is you got to look at it round by round to see where it got shook up and where it didn't. And as a whole, I would love to see a draft as a whole. Did we shake it up like what was it, 2005 draft?
You're going to ask me to remember 2005.
I think that was the draft where they moved around Cena and Batista.
Possibly.
That whole draft to me, they shook things up. of course, the very first draft, yeah, that shook up the whole damn landscape of, the WWE.
What's up, Daly?
But it's like drafts are now, they're starting to lean towards, I want to make Raw better. Let me take the good stuff from SmackDown and move it over here, and then move the bad stuff to SmackDown. Maybe it'll be good again. Who knows?
But if that's your thought process, if that's your philosophy, and whether it's you or WWE, right? I'm actually, in a weird sort of a way, I'm okay with that. I'm okay if you want to take a program that you feel is floundering on Raw and you want to put it over on SmackDown and let it kind of build itself back up again. I'm all for it. I mean, hell, look at Bray Wyatt. You move Bray Wyatt over to SmackDown, he's on fire again. Braun Strowman, you moved him to SmackDown, he was on fire. You make these small little moves, and again, they're small, but you have the ability to make these moves. Damn, let's look at Finn Balor, right? It wasn't in the draft, but you moved Finn Balor to NXT, and he's the damn champion.
I was going to say, he got free agent status, and he just decided NXT's my home. I mean,
we got a couple more comments. Like I said, these comments are firing in. 3 Count Thursday. Until, if ever, NXT is involved in the draft, it'll never be shook up as much as it should. I completely agree with that statement.
Yep, I will agree too.
Greg Milakovic, I feel like they tried to shake it up, but in reality, they just switched the same bad stories to a different show. Not everyone got drafted. What kind of draft is that if not everyone gets drafted only in WWE? Well, hold on, though, Greg. Because, and he says, so he disagrees to the poll. So I'm going to ask, because I guarantee you Greg's still here. I hope Tom's still here. Answer this for me.
I know where this is going.
Aren't there undrafted free agents in the NFL? Aren't there people that become undrafted free agents?
Yes, so I can answer that real quick. Yes.
How are you going to sit there and say what kind of draft is that when the NFL does it? Homie, come on. Ryan Brito chiming in. Hey, guys, Alabama sucks. Have a good night. I can agree to that. And Daly, by the way, Daly didn't get his proper intro, neither did Greg. I'm going to do that here right now for them. Brian Daly, co-host of the Hockey Happy Hour, chiming in. Yes, there is. And Greg Milakovic, co-host of AM in the PM, agree to disagree, ends up wherever else he really wants to. He goes, yes, that's after 250 players are drafted. Fam, there's not 250 people in the WWE. There's not 250 active roster people in the WWE.
You could combine NXT. Let's see, hold on. You could combine Raw, SmackDown, NXT Performance Center. You probably wouldn't even get close to 250.
No. Well, all right, maybe you might actually. Hold on. That's a question for another day.
Okay.
That's a question for another day. Damien wants to know if WWE said before the draft that none of the injured wrestlers were going to get drafted in the draft, why the hell was Charlotte drafted and Mickie James didn't get drafted? Great question.
Yeah.
No, I think the Mickie thing is because Mickey's also producing backstage. Right. So
she gets to pick where she wants to go.
Right. It gave her the opportunity to bounce around. Charlotte, I think it was, in case they go back on the road, it puts her on the same show again with Andrade.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That is a good question. That's a really damn good question because, like he said, the injured weren't on the list to get drafted. Charlotte,
Charlotte had surgery done, but she took personal time off.
I was to say, also, she could have been recently off the injured reserve list. So, I mean, that right there could tell you she's ready to come back anytime soon.
And WWE's been flooding their social media with Charlotte pictures. Charlotte's coming back a lot sooner than anybody is thinking.
Very true.
Tom saying, according to Greg, there is LOL. I think he means undrafted free agents. What's up, fellas? I'm going to disagree on this one. That's Jake Friel from On the Road to Victory every Friday night here at AGD Radio. And Greg says, no, I get that. The WWE doesn't have those numbers, but there are active people that didn't get drafted. But I think, and like we're talking about with Mickie right now, Greg, I think there's an underlying tone to that because eventually, we saw that Lindsay Dorado and
I
Grant
think
Bentley, they ended up getting drafted, but they didn't get on TV drafted. They got drafted later.
I think that all that was left was supposed to be Mickey and Andrade, and I think Andrade's already picked a brand.
I think he has as well.
But I think Mickey's the only one that's left that's undrafted free agent from last I read.
Daly says, I was going to say what Butters said. Maybe she's coming sooner than expected. Neil chiming in. Sup, fam. Have a great show. Thanks, Neil, buddy. We appreciate that. And no, she actually. So hold on. Let's talk about that for a minute. Right? She actually had to have one fixed because there was the threat of having silicone poisoning.
Well, I know that was what, last year, right?
No, that's she.
Or did it happen again?
I think she popped it last year, and then earlier this year she went in for, I guess, a checkup, and they realized that one was about to start leaking, so they had to have it.
Jesus,
fixed.
She might as well just take them out.
Something to that effect, right?
She's got Andrade. What does she need breasts for? She's good. Just take the fake breast out and be gone. Damn.
Jesus.
If they're hurting, if it's that bad for her that, every time you turn around, her breasts are popping left and right. I mean,
Arnone saying Butters the GOAT. Greg saying it happened again. We're having Poppet talk. He goes, "Oh my God, what's leaking?"
I mean, probably probably Charlotte when she's with Andrade. I mean,
oh, yeah. See, this is why we're the late night show. I say late night. Nobody's watching us. The damn Astros are on.
They're probably watching us because we're doing better than the Astros.
Good point.
0-3 at the fifth.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so let's. But again, all the free agents, right?
Yeah.
I truly think that it's. There's more to it because let's think about it. Heath Slater as an undrafted free agent was the best storyline coming out of the draft a couple years ago.
It really was. I can't lie. It really was. And that set up.
Everybody loves your comment. Butters for the win. Butters with the comment of the night. The people love you.
Oh Lord.
But that Heath Slater thing was the best thing.
Yeah, I mean, and it was a great way to introduce the SmackDown titles, introduce the first winners with Rhino of all people. Love Rhino. Don't care where he's at. I've always been a big fan of Rhino.
But let's get into it. Oh, I forgot to do that. Let's get into the draft, right? So round one. I thought round one kicked it off huge. Right out the gate with The Fiend.
Yes.
That's huge. Obviously Bayley got to stay on SmackDown. Randy Orton, this is the first time in a long time that Randy Orton hasn't been taken in the number one spot.
No, you sure he didn't get...
I thought they made a comment Monday night where Randy Orton has always been a top draft pick.
Maybe maybe always in the first round, but usually I think last year's number one was I think Roman maybe, and the year before that Seth.
Yeah, maybe. And Charlotte Flair all go to Raw. The Charlotte Flair grab is huge for Raw.
Yeah,
especially with Asuka still being the champion and everything like that.
Let's talk
Bayley and the Profits going to SmackDown. We saw the Profit change happening.
That's the thing I want to talk about. So they switch titles. Okay, they make the easy switch, instead of having tournaments, instead of doing it, you just go here, hand your titles.
And it's a beautiful story, too.
It really is, but according to WWE, that's a title change. Because now the Street Profits are considered a Triple Crown champion. By WWE logic, they're considered Triple Crown.
Wait. No, they're not.
Yes, NXT, Raw, and SmackDown Tag Team title champions. They are considered Triple Crown Tag Team champions.
When was this said?
Apparently on WWE or Monday Night or hold on, I will find it right now because this is what everybody's getting at.
What kind of bullshit is that?
It's the weirdest. Here it is. WWE is now billing SmackDown Street Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, as Triple Crown Champions. WWE recognizes Street Profits' Blue Brand title reign as beginning last Monday. They also recognizes the New Day's Red title brand beginning as Monday. So basically, the New Day won the SmackDown tag titles on Friday. That reign was from Friday to Monday. And then the Street Profits, their reign lasted from March 2nd to October 12th, which was this past Monday's, for 223 days.
I'm sorry. I can back a lot. I'll defend WWE on a lot. I'll fall on the sword for a lot. But come on.
It says this marks the Street Profits as the second ever triple.
You can do it. Use your words.
Triple Crown Tag Team champions in the history of the company, with FTR being the Revival being the first.
God, I hate life. I hate life.
So the New Day held the titles for 4 days. So now they're on their 8th title reign, I guess you'd call it now, considering since that's how they're doing it.
God help me.
So just a simple title swap. I mean, the only other time that I've known this to happen would be when Bischoff gave Triple H the world title. Hey, here's you a title reign. It is what it is. But this right here, it blows my damn mind.
Greg says, to the day, Junior.
Yeah, well, I'll give it to him. But still, it boggles the damn mind how you can pull something this stupid out of your ass.
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
It's
just gonna make me mad. No, it's just gonna make me mad.
All right, on to the next round. God.
But I like the Fiend, right? The Fiend right out the gate. Right? That's a huge move for Raw.
And it sets up a good feud for anybody on Raw, whether it be AJ, Jeff, Drew, hell, even Keith Lee.
What the hell is Frank talking about? Boggle?
Right. Probably because when I said boggles my mind.
Oh, Frank, you can do better, buddy. But we as we saw Monday night, Alexa goes later in the draft.
I kind of felt that was an obvious one because
that was a super obvious one.
I was like, there's no way you're going to draft just a Fiend and not draft Alexa. But I can see them doing a whole petty angle where it's like, well, y'all took the Fiend, so we're going to keep Alexa. Screw y'all.
No. Stop talking.
It's Fox.
Stop talking. But we saw it later that night. They attacked Zelina and Andrade.
Oh, I love the double sister Abigail.
Oh, but what was great was the camera angles. They managed to keep it off of Bray getting behind them and everything like that. And Alexa doing, all the mannerisms. Oh, it was perfect. Probably my favorite segment from Monday night.
Oh, big time, because the Alexa crab walk was just that to me was just creepy as hell, and I loved it.
Oh, I loved all of it. Loved all of it. All right, let's get to round number 2. Braun Strowman, Daniel Bryan, Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Jeff Hardy. So, all right, the Braun Strowman thing made a ton of sense.
Yeah. Daniel
Bryan makes a ton of sense. I like Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy because I think that we're going to get these two as a tag team.
I kind of felt where you're going, and I kind of agree.
I wouldn't hate it.
No. It'd give both of them something to do for now till you can give Matt Riddle a good singles push. Because I think what they're doing is trying to get all his controversy out the way. And then, give him a tag title push, and that can kind of, just be its own thing. And then once everything blows over, if everything's all golden and copacetic, you give him a big push, give him a run with either the U.S. title, too early for a WWE title, but, just give him a push by himself. I think it'll be good for him. Monday Night Raw?
I think these two as a tag team would go really, really well. Plus people can go back to saying Matt and Jeff.
They can call them the Hardy Bros?
Oh, stop.
The Charismatic Bros.
Every time I hear Zelina Vega's name, why do I think of the girl from Spy Kids movie? Remember Spy Kids? Yes, Frank, we remember Spy Kids. God. Frank's bored. Damien goes, to be fair, this is the same company that made Asuka Triple Crown champion. Even though they handed the Raw Women's Championship to her, she didn't fight for it. He's not wrong. He's not.
No.
He's not wrong at all. And then Kevin Owens to SmackDown. He's back on the same show as Sami Zayn. Even though Alistair moves over to SmackDown as well. Maybe
we'll see a KO Sami feud for the IC title. I wouldn't be against it.
I wouldn't be against it either. It's been long enough since the last time that these two have fought, and I could see it being something good.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the next round. Round 3. Retribution. Shock. Lars Sullivan to SmackDown. Keith Lee to Raw. King Corbin to SmackDown. And once again, another shock. Alexa Bliss to Raw. Interesting note about Retribution. Mercedes Martinez has been knocked back down to NXT.
Yep.
She will not be part of the group anymore. They're just going to keep Mia Yim
in
there.
Are they going to get another woman, or are we just going to be down to one?
No idea.
That's going to be interesting to see. And
Joey DiMartino's here. He says, don't ever say Hardy Bros again.
The Hardy Bros? Come on now. That's a good name.
Tom Arnone saying, thanks, Frank. It's been a very interesting day since Frank. I don't want to know. None of us want to know. Craig Malachmick, I want to go back to Sammy being away again.
Oh, come on. You don't want to see, Fidel Castro in the WWE? I mean, come on. Everybody loves Sammy Castro. What you talking about, son?
No, don't ever say that again either. I'm with Joey on that one. Stop talking. But I'll take you out of the stream. I have power. Remember that. The Keith Lee thing, that's obvious. Lars Sullivan makes me... Where's that comment? Hold on. There was a comment about Lars earlier. Hold on. Where the hell is it? Where is it?
You would be one to find a comment about Lars Sullivan.
Damian Hernandez, my question, why in the hell is Lars Sullivan back? Damian, my man. Great question. You want to know why? Because I don't know either.
Because Vince likes big, beefy men.
What is happening tonight? I thought you said you got sleep.
I did.
Greg, no. Just no.
Oh.
That's on the Sami Zayn thing. Greg, with your permission, I'm going to use it here too. No. Just no.
What? I mean, Vince found out what he's done in his past and kind of likes it, apparently. I don't know. Shit.
Rob Stroop. And so does Lars.
There it is.
Why do they keep trying to push Lars Sullivan? Joey, please see 2 minutes ago. Here's my thing. Okay, we talked about it last week. I'm going to talk about it again this week. Lars Sullivan is almost like my... You know how Chrome hates Sasha Banks and how Chrome can't stand Bret Hart?
Yeah.
Like, Lars Sullivan is becoming that to me. Because here's a guy, let's take out all the personal issues he has.
Yeah.
Right? When I say personal, outside of the WWE. That's going to handle itself and fuck off to your safe space. But you have a guy who legit looks like a freak. We're billing him as a freak. We're billing him in as somebody that is going to come out here and is going to absolutely brutally destroy somebody. And what does this man do? He does a choke slam thing, a couple throws, and that's it. Everybody tries to run. He always does the whole drag back, everything like that. It's not like.
And I think that's why Vince likes him, because he's just basic. Vince is. I honestly think Sullivan reminds Vince of the days of old when everything was just basic moves, a couple here and there, slam
Hogan
dunk.
had more moves in his moveset than this man. Hulk Hogan, a guy who made a boot and a leg drop synonymous with professional wrestling.
You know, Vince grew up with the big beefy men, so as I said earlier,
Lars, if this was 1985, Lars Sullivan would be fine. Oh, here we go. Cody McDonald. I feel like Lars is a Dollar General Brock Lesnar. Absolutely. God-blessedly.
Thank you, Cody.
I just can't get behind the idea of, oh, yes, Malakovic. Pumpkin spice Lars Sullivan basic. Yes. Yes. Vince is a basic white bitch sometimes.
And that's what Vince likes, is just the basic bitches.
But, like, if this was 1985 and you had the date of
85, shit, you could go older. You could go.
Well, yeah, but nobody here was born past 85.
I get that, but still, it's not the point. Some people have seen older style wrestling like me. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. You know, it's not a matter of whether or not how old you...
But you gotta remember, Greg's watching right now. Greg hasn't seen the last 5 weeks of current TV. So I have to, cater to the people watching.
And I get that, but come on. If you're a wrestling fan, if you've watched wrestling, you've seen something older. You know about the older shit.
You've seen something? You've seen something. Yep. I'm sorry. Did you just skip English class?
Hey man, that's just the the basic in me just talking.
Look here, great value, Dusty Rhodes.
Hey, you know what? I'll take that as a compliment.
As you should. Rob Stroop, English equals hard. Oh, jeez. But no, I can't get behind the Lars Sullivan thing. I don't know why we're continuously trying to make this a bigger deal than it really is. I struggle with it.
I think they're trying too hard to push him. They want to push him as this beast. They want to push him as like a future Lesnar, but I don't think it's going to happen.
It hurt for you to say that.
It really did.
And your camera kind of broke out for a little, so it looked like you were having a twitch.
It really did. I feel like they're trying, and it's not going to work out. It's going to epically fail, and they're going to fall flat on their face, and it's going to be out the door and done.
But enough about Lars Sullivan, because he just makes me mad. His entire existence makes me mad.
Why is it we seem to be talking about Lars Sullivan every week now? It's starting to get like Sasha Bailey eerie over here.
Because he's on the damn TV for no reason. But you know who's back? You know who I'm happy to see back?
Who?
Do you know what we get to do now every Monday night on Raw with the first pick of round 4? We get to walk with Elias. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. In round 4, Elias is back after delivering a brutal guitar shot to the back of Jeff Hardy at the end of Jeff's match on Monday. Sami Zayn went after Elias, Lacey Evans to Raw, which that makes me happy too.
Yes.
Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro to SmackDown, and Sheamus to Raw.
Maybe Lacey can finally have something done instead of being.
Lacey gonna whoop that ass.
Whoop Oscar ass and be done with. Grab that title. I want to see Lacey with a title.
Did y'all like Ricochet's tribute to Eddie? Don't know if you talked about it yet. We have not, but I do want to bring that up because here we'll talk about it now. Screw it.
Hell yeah!
I loved it.
Oh, I did too. I was laughing my ass off
because
and I think it was Eddie's birthday too that day, wasn't it?
It was right around that time. But it's like Eddie, he would hit the ground, throw the chair, and then just drop. Ricochet hits the ground, throws the chair, and then does night-night as he goes down or something like that. Like he just, so that's what made it better.
Oh, it was so good. It's like it is the best way to end that feud. I don't care who you are. That was the golden way to end that feud between those two, between him and that group.
Absolutely, especially with Apollo going to SmackDown, which we'll talk about later. It was great because now we can move Ricochet on to bigger and better things. He had a pretty high profile feud with the Hurt Business.
I was kind of I was kind of a little shocked he didn't join him because I figured that with them teasing the way they were, I was like, oh man, he's gonna join them. But
it's weird though. Here's what's weird for me. Obviously, Elias is back, and this week on Raw, he's going to debut a new album, which I'm super excited for because I have missed. Like, absence makes the heart grow fonder, unless your name is Lars Sullivan. But I
knew that was coming. I knew
Elias on my TV. I have missed all of that.
You've missed walking, haven't you?
I don't walk anywhere. I don't walk anywhere. Joey DiMartino, what's next? Vince going to call him Lars from... Done with you. Lacey Evans should have stayed... Oh, jeez, God. Butters got me back into watching wrestling. All right, Cody. Take that. Rob Stroop, he'll join the Hurt Business and battle Retribution for the next 3 months. He being Ricochet. All right, Rob, come on, man. Don't put that on me. Don't make me sad like that.
He just ended that feud. There's no way. He's done with him. He's going his own route. You watched it Monday night, boy. Get it right.
But I like the Lacey to Raw. I like Elias being back. Sami Zayn going this late, though, is weird to me.
Nah.
But as the Intercontinental Champion, like if I'm Sami, every promo I cut should be about how I wasn't taken until the 4th round of night 2. So out of 11 rounds, no.
10?
What, like 12 rounds they did? Because they did like 5 last week. Out of 12 rounds, I went in the 8th round. Bullshit.
They might start
the Intercontinental Champion, damn it.
They might start something this week. I mean, you never know.
That if I'm Sami, that's what I am doing on every show, on every post, on every video. I'm going to ram it down people's throats. Why? Because I'm annoying, but damn it, I'm amazing.
I mean, you're just calling back to Heath Slater pulling that. I mean...
No, Heath Slater was a damn free agent. He didn't get drafted at all. And he wasn't a champion. Sami Zayn is the Intercontinental Champion.
That shows you how...
He went in the 8th round. That's like turning around and saying, God, I know somebody would have. But that's like Tom Brady getting picked in the 8th round of the damn NFL draft.
I mean, that tells you how highly they think of the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, hell, Bobby Lashley being with, the Hurt Business got picked early on, but that could be the only reason, that the U.S. title got picked early on.
Maybe.
But I think every other title got picked within the first, each night within the first 2 rounds.
With the exception of Bayley and the SmackDown tag titles, everything went night 1.
So that right there ought to tell you how highly they think of the IC title right now.
Yeah, it makes me want to fight somebody. Round 5, Nikki Cross comes over to Raw, which I like because Alexa's there, and I think they're going to keep something going here. The glorious Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler go over to SmackDown. All right, big deal. Hey, it's the 24/7, 365, I-95 North champion R-Truth. He gets to stay on Raw.
The 1,017,000th time champion.
Apollo Crews going over to SmackDown.
Interesting.
And
maybe we'll see.
With the absolute worst picture I've ever seen for any superstar ever, Dabba-Kato gets to stay on Raw.
Well, I mean, if anything's any hint that, these past few weeks and the rumblings I've heard, it looks like Underground is done.
Well, it is because of how some NXT stars had an outbreak of COVID and everything like that. They didn't want to mix up everybody, and so those people that were highlighted on Raw Underground got to stay on Raw, and everybody else went back to doing things either at the Performance Center or in NXT.
I mean, I'm not going to be sad about it.
Here's an interesting question from Damien. Do y'all think that if Melina would have made her official return and Tessa had her debut this week, the draft could have been better? I'll put it out there. I think that if Tessa Blanchard were to ever have signed with the WWE, that makes news in of itself. She could walk out on Raw Talk, and it would be the best thing going today.
Yeah.
Because of how much of a high-profile name she is. Here's how this should play. It'll never happen because WWE, I think in their core, hate me. Not me as a fan. Me as Ritz. They hate me. You have Charlotte Flair return to Raw. Next week, 2 weeks from now, I don't care. And she's out there and she's talking, she's cutting her promo, and she's doing everything. And then a diamond just hits the screen. Like the Thunderdome behind Charlotte just all becomes diamonds. Right? And we start that up. Because isn't Tessa's thing a diamond? Like one of her logos?
Yeah.
That's all you see. It's just diamonds. Not a word is said. Nobody walks out and it's just diamonds. Right? Because with the Flairs, Flair always said diamonds are forever. So Charlotte brushes it off. Doesn't think anything of it. Right? Charlotte has her first match. And again, we get diamonds. Right? Maybe we get a clip of the Four Horsemen play where it's Tully Blanchard and Ric Flair having it, cutting a promo or whatever have you. And then that's when Charlotte smiles. And Charlotte knows what's coming. And so what does Charlotte do? Charlotte starts running her mouth about Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. How she has a partner. She has someone in mind that's going to help take the tag titles off of Shayna and Nia. And a week, 2 weeks goes by. We're leading into Survivor Series. Charlotte's partner still hasn't been named yet. Right? You don't see any diamonds. You don't see anything about the Horsemen anymore. But Charlotte walks out. She got the robe on. She's feeling good. Sitting there, and all she says is, just remember, I told you, diamonds are forever. And so are the Four Horsemen. And Tessa's music hits. And Tessa walks down that ramp. Wrestling fans around the world explode. Because
Charlotte
I think Flair and Tessa Blanchard go toe-to-toe with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. And for the first time ever, a Flair and a Blanchard shares the tag team titles.
I think I would lose my shit at that point.
Joey DiMarino saying diamonds are forever and so is Ric Flair. But Melina would have been cool. Melina would have been a nostalgia thing. But
what are they going to do with Melina other than, just have her as enhancement talent?
Exactly. That's my problem. I don't know what you do with Melina.
All she's going to do is be there for enhancement talent and banging every guy in the back.
Wow. Damn. Butter's just throwing haymakers tonight. Holy crap. Christ almighty.
Swing.
All right. Moving on. Round 6. Titus O'Neil stays on Raw. He was highlighted in Raw Underground. The untouchable Carmella staying over there on SmackDown. Peyton Royce gets to stay on Raw. Aleister Black goes to SmackDown with his wife. Did Zelina get drafted? Yeah, Zelina got drafted.
Yes, because I think they were highlighting during Andrade's match how they're splitting up.
Yeah, and Akira Tozawa to Raw. What do you think?
Man, it was a lackluster round, but I mean, don't get me wrong. Aleister Black on SmackDown, that's, again, another whole moving a storyline over with KO. Akira Tozawa, I could care less about. Titus, he's good, but again, most of the drafts on this round, nothing popped. You could have at least saved one good pop for, each round. And this one didn't do nothing for me.
Yeah, like this was kind of, for being the last round that they show on the air, I was kind of like, meh. Although it was funny watching Stephanie call him a ninja.
He's a ninja. Woo! Ninja vanish, just like his career is going to do in the next year.
Damian saying Melina could tag with Zelina. I don't hate that idea. Melina and Zelina. Oh God, that would suck trying to say that every week. Melina and Zelina.
So Mazina.
All right. Well, this actually is a new record for him. 47 minutes in, and he's in timeout. Yeah. So, all right. Let's see if he wants to play nice.
Fine. Yeah. Team Zima will be fine.
And he's back in timeout. Yep. Michael wants to know, why was Titus picked? Great question, Michael.
He was in the draft pool. I mean, I know there was a few free agents not picked, but still, I mean, just so they can have Titus be relevant for right now.
And by the way, Greg agrees with me. That was definitely a timeout-worthy comment. Thank you, Greg. But here, all right. So let's. I don't like to hate on Titus because of all the good Titus does outside of the ring. Like, I'm a huge Titus fan. I think he's just genuinely a good person.
Yeah.
And so, like, when he got the TV time for Raw Underground, I was super excited for him. So him being picked doesn't bother me. And Michael adds in, but Titus before Aleister Black. I see where you're going with it, Michael. I really do.
Unless they're trying to push Titus in some form or fashion, like you said, they highlighted him Raw Underground. Maybe Hurt Business wants to pick him up. Maybe he just wants to do his own thing. You never really know where they're going to go with this.
But I think it was just kind of
maybe WWE just wanted WWE wanted everybody just to scratch their head and question why Titus.
I mean, it got people talking about Titus, so Joey wants me to fire you again. Give it time. He'll say something dumb again. Titus the Ninja. All right, round 7. And round this round makes me struggle. Lana and Natalya, they split up. Riddick Moss, where's Ryan? Ryan! Riddick Moss got drafted. The Riot Squad moves over to SmackDown, and Arturo Rojas, Razazua, whatever this man's name is. You want to know why, though, I'm so mad? Do you want to know why I'm so mad that Lana got drafted to Raw?
Please tell me why.
Because this Monday on WWE Monday Night Raw, for the first time ever, WWE Raw Women's Champion Asuka will defend her Raw Women's title against Lana,
who won a women's battle royal by tossing Natty.
Are you for real?
Hey, they just showed a training video of her eating raw eggs to get ready.
There's a joke there. The Titus pick was equivalent to the Eagles taking Jalen Hurts in the second round. Oh, hey, it's Riddick Moss. Greg saying she'll go through another table. Dude, I swear to God, they put her through another table.
Hey, no.
Freaking raw eggs with Liv Morgan.
Hey.
Guys, the joke writes itself.
Hey, I look at it like this. They could announce Monday night that their match is going to be a tables match.
I swear to God. I swear to God. No, wait. Have you ever wanted to see me so mad that like I don't speak properly? Let Lana beat Asuka Monday night. Let Lana beat Asuka Monday night.
I swear that's what they need to do. They need to let Lana beat Asuka, but be in a tables match to finally say Lana didn't get put through a table. Then have Nia Jax come out there and subsequently put her ass through a table.
I will. If it happens, like, all right, so Sports Hounds is Monday night, okay? And they're typically on the air during Raw. Brinkman, if you're watching, just heads up. If Lana wins the Raw title, I am getting on this computer. I am getting on Sports Hounds, and I am going to yell and scream for the better part of 5 minutes. Of how I will, on any platform I can, I will yell and scream. Because Lana, a woman who has been buried and buried and buried and buried, beats Asuka. I'll cry. Oh. Ryan says, you know who else should go through a table? The entire state of Alabama. Ryan is what's the word I'm looking for here?
Why is Ryan so mad?
War. Ryan is waging war on the state of Alabama.
Who did Alabama beat? Dear God.
Ryan,
did they touch you in your naughty place?
Can we please never have another battle royal where the winner disappears and we get a false finish? No, Michael. We're going to have 15 more before the year's up.
Have you never watched WWE, Michael? I mean, that's like every battle royal we see.
Bro, they call it the Royal Rumble.
That's probably the only one we see that doesn't really have that kind of a finish.
They tried that one year with Vince. They better put Lana through a flaming table just like Edge did to Foley, damn it. From Damian Hernandez. Oh, and Ryan has corrected me. He is not waging war on the entire state of Alabama. Just the football team. Yeah. So that happened. But, like, I want to know. I want to be in the room. I want to be in the writer's room when they said, hey, you know what would be cool? Let's have Lana win the Battle Royal to fight Asuka next week.
Or it could just be a quick match that gives Asuka a reason not to have to defend her title at Hell in a Cell.
Asuka doesn't have a match at Hell in a Cell yet?
I don't think so. Let me look that up real quick.
I got it. Because now this will really make me mad. Like, again, all right, so hold on. No, there's only 3 matches on the card. Roman and Jay, Drew and Randy, Bayley and Sasha. All right, we're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to put a pin in Hell in a Cell. See, because right here, Monster Rage Patrick wants to know your thoughts on upcoming Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Hold on. I'll get there. We're going to put a pin in that right now. Ryan says, no, Margarine. In order for them to do that, they would have first needed to actually respond to my... Never mind. God damn it.
Oh, shit.
But I want to be... I want to understand why Lana.
Because Natty got drafted to SmackDown?
Oh, hey, look. Joey's predicting the future. Yeah, I put him in timeout again. That's not the reason why. All right, you coming back in the stream with that small little high-pitched laugh, that's incredibly creepy. When someone's listening to this tomorrow on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and all your other podcast services in their car, and they hear that, yeah, it's over. Oh, Greg has a reason why. Because New Day rocks. Lana is punishment for Miro going to AEW. Rob, that's what the 3 tables were for. But they just gave her a title match.
Doesn't mean jack squat, bro. They're gonna bury the hell out of her in this title match, is what he's saying.
Wait, is that a tiger versus an elephant? What?
Joey, what the hell does that mean? Is that a tiger or is that a hyena? God damn it!
I hope Ryan got that. You're doomed. You're so doomed. Trying to help my buddy out here. Oh, man alive. All right. So, as you can see, the draft had its ups and it had its downs.
Heavy emphasis on the downs.
As the night progressed Monday night, the draft winded down. I think they should have kept a big shock moment for the last round of the draft.
They should. Okay, they should.
Honestly, the Fiend probably should have been last.
Or the New Day.
Well, the New Day was almost last on night 1, right? Because you needed that for SmackDown. You should have had somebody come to Raw that was kind of a shock.
A big return?
Yeah, or the Fiend.
Nah.
Don't you hate me? All right, let's talk about some highlights from this week of
wrestling.
On Monday night, not a whole lot.
Nah.
Other than the Ricochet thing, right? That was fantastic.
Yep. I mean, you got a decent, solid match out of the Seth, AJ, Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
An interesting hookup in tag team between Dana and Mandy.
I love it.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said it was interesting. It's good.
Great. There were highlights. Yeah, believe it or not, I can find some.
I mean, Angel Garza standing out on his own.
Greg, remember, we're the more positive wrestling show.
Angel Garza getting to stand out on his own.
The power of positivity.
Positively, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're doomed, Butters. Oh, Butters, you're doomed. Ryan was paying attention.
Oh, dear Jesus.
But yeah, and like we said, Elias showing up and cracking Jeff Hardy with the guitar. That was cool. See, I missed in because I was watching the stream in bits and pieces Monday night because I was still at work and home and different things like that. So I actually missed the part where Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke beat Natalya and Lana. And Natalya says things aren't working out and ditches Lana. I missed all of that. I was on my way home for that.
Yeah. But then I think not too long after that's where Natty got drafted.
No, Natty got drafted at the end of the night.
That's what I'm saying. Not too long afterwards, after that match, is where
it still doesn't change the fact that Lana still won the Raw Women's title shot.
Yeah, to end the show.
Stop reminding me. No, it didn't end the show. No, it didn't.
No, that's right. That's right. The Drew Randy thing ended the show. Hey, that's a plus. That's a plus.
What's so funny is if you go back and you watch that, you see Lacey trying to scoot out of the way and more or less saying, go another fucking direction. And they finally get it to a point where Lacey's out of the shot, but the camera guy's not tight enough. So if you watch that back, you see blonde hair cut through the bottom of the shot as she's trying to sneak away.
Trying her damnedest and it's not working.
But she was in a weird spot and they were going towards it. It's like, no, don't hit me. Ah!
I know I'm not supposed to be in the shot. Damn it, let me out.
We're gonna skip NXT because NXT actually has Halloween Havoc coming up. So we're gonna kind of talk about that. And I'm going to read your description because you should be shot for your description.
Wait, my description for what?
You should be shot, sir.
Oh, boy.
So Lars Sullivan beat Jeff Hardy on SmackDown. Big deal. But here we are. Here's what I really want to talk about from SmackDown. The New Day's farewell. It was such a real moment. It was such a powerful moment. You know, Kofi says they've had a week to think about it, and he couldn't help but smile when everyone told him how special their run's been. You know, and they talk about some of their moments. Woods getting emotional, saying without Big E and Kofi, he wouldn't even be in the WWE. Big E says he loves sitting with Kofi and Woods in Waffle Houses in random cities across the country, talking about their families and, well, his TV. Kofi says back in 12, he wasn't sure he even wanted to be a wrestler anymore. And it was because of Woods and Woods and Big E approaching him to do something special. You know, he's still here in the company 8 years later.
Yep.
You know, I love the fact of when Big E said, you know, one of my favorite moments was tears streaming down my face watching Kofi win his first World Heavyweight Championship. You know, or Kofi talking about how he felt bad for Woods the night that the Usos were teeing off on Xavier inside Hell in a Cell. So my question for you, Butters, is what's your favorite New Day moment?
I actually liked them hosting WrestleMania.
You did?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite New Day moments. I mean, I honestly hated their heel runs. I didn't care for those. That, you know, I didn't really start liking the New Day until they more or less started becoming the baby faces. And then hosting WrestleMania was always like one of those moments. It was great. I loved it. It made me laugh, you know. Them coming out, you know, before the Hardys were introduced in that tag match. I'm like, whew, they're going to get in this. We can see the New Day as new champions. Please let it happen. And then
the best is like Like when you just mid the conversation too. Turn your camera back on, you butts. God, that was good. But so, all right, yours is WrestleMania when they hosted WrestleMania 33.
I love the ice cream cart. Come on, man.
The ice cream cart was cool. The ice cream cart was really cool, but I don't know, man.
What fat kid doesn't like free ice cream?
I'm not touching that comment.
I mean, you could also say the Bootios all the time. The Bootios.
Bootios was cool. Kevin chiming in saying his favorite New Day moment was when Stone Cold gave Xavier the stunner. That was at WrestleMania 32. I was actually there for that. That was pretty cool. That was when they came out of the big box of Bootios. God, my favorite New Day moment. Actually, all right. It was not one on television.
Uh-oh.
I guess it was last year. Yeah, it had to have been last year. They did a SmackDown house show here in Houston. And I managed, because I work for Toyota, managed to finagle some tickets to the Toyota Center. So Andrew brought his stepdad, and I brought my dad. It's the first time Dad and I had been to a wrestling event since WrestleMania 25. Back in 2009.
Ooh.
So, and my dad has not turned on wrestling since. My dad didn't have a clue who these people were. And so the New Day come out. And they're not televised, right? So they're extra goofy. And if you watch SmackDown, how Kofi and Xavier are holding Big E as he's like dry humping the rope, they do that at this house show. And my dad turns and looks at me and he goes, "This is what you watch every week. This is what you talk about every week for 2 hours. Those idiots down there." And I went, "Dad, they're like one of the best tag teams of all time." He looks at me and he goes, "No, son. The Road Warriors were one of the best tag teams of all time."
Yeah, go Dad.
And I don't remember what he called them, but he just buries the New Day. And I can do nothing but laugh hysterically when this is happening. It was so that might probably be my favorite New Day moment because my dad was so confused as to what the hell was going on. He got everything else. Everything else was cool to him. Like he made fun of a couple things here and there, but the New Day specifically, because he didn't get the trombone, he didn't understand any of it. He was so lost.
Oh man! So did you?
We got some New Day moments chime in. So Damien says, best New Day moment was when they got put through the tables by the Dudley Boys. Rob says, when Big E was pouring Bootios in the children's mouths, that and throwing pancakes at Corey Graves.
I gave him the pancakes, but the pouring of the cereal in the children's mouths is a little creepy.
T. Bardino goes, the Usos versus New Day battle raps, those were phenomenal. And Brodo, Ralph wanted me to tell you that his favorite New Day moment was the triple threat. I'm not finishing that. I'm not finishing that comment.
Good one, Brodo. Oh, good one.
Well, no, that came from Ralph.
Oh, dear Jesus. That's still too good.
And then, so Ted wants to know, you guys think Roman is the heel who never gets his comeuppance? Who turns... Wait, hold on, back up. You guys think Roman is the heel who never gets his comeuppance, who turns face he doesn't get it? Wait, Ted, buddy, can you try that one again? I don't know. Here's my problem, Ted. I don't know what you're asking.
Phrasing.
I don't want to infer the wrong thing.
Yeah. Like, totally.
Brian goes, no, that came from me. Do you really think he would come up with something like that? Ryan, you don't want my answer, pal. You really don't. You truly don't want my answer on that. So we're gonna wait for Ted to kind of clear up his comment there. Make sure we understand that properly. Let's talk about Hell in a Cell just a little bit. So, all right, guys, we're gonna pull back the curtain a little bit on what's happening here over the next couple of weeks, because we're probably gonna wrap up here probably about the next 15, 20 minutes or so. Next week, there's a very strong chance. Well, I'll guarantee it. We're not going to be on Saturday next week. Butters is going to be out of town. I start vacation on Wednesday, so there's a chance I may be out of town on Saturday. So we are trying to figure out a time on Friday before SmackDown goes on the air to go live to talk about Hell in a Cell and give our predictions of what we have at that moment. Halloween night is a week after Hell in a Cell and Halloween Havoc. I'm going to tell you right now, we won't be on the air Halloween night. Okay? 1, it's closeout for me at work. 2, it's Halloween, and it's on a Saturday. I'm going to be honest with you, people, right? We're just not going to do it. So we will give our Hell in a Cell recaps the following week when we come back, okay? Unless Butters and I can figure out a way to get on the air before then, okay? So let's talk a little Hell in a Cell now of what we have. And what I really want to talk about is I don't want to give our predictions for Roman, Jay, Drew, Randy, Bailey.
Yeah, no.
Sasha. I don't want to do that right now. But here we are 1 week away. And this was the same problem we had last year.
Yeah.
We were 1 week away from Hell in a Cell, and nothing set up. You've got 3 matches, all inside the cell. So
Hell, I think that's one more match than last year's.
So my question to you, Mr. Butters, is give me 2 matches that you think are going to happen at Hell in a Cell.
I'd say Seth versus Murphy. And kind of have to say maybe one of the mid-card titles on the line. Either IC or US. I wouldn't even be able to tell you which one.
See, I think there's no IC title on the line. I don't think that happens. I think we see a blow-off Jeff versus Elias.
Mm-hmm.
One of the tag team titles gets defended. Whether it be the SmackDown tag titles, the Street Profits versus, Rude and Ziggler. And then Asuka has to have a match. She has to. She has to have a match at Hell in a Cell.
Because the whole Lana thing cannot be a blow-off match just to get her off Hell in a Cell.
Correct. Don't you do that to me.
No. Don't not me. Don't WWE do that to you.
Shut up.
Halloween Havoc is also
Halloween Havoc is on the horizon. We saw that Johnny Gargano will he will vie for the NXT North American title against Captain Vanilla himself, Damian Priest. And Candice LeRae will go for the NXT Women's Championship against Io Shirai. Both matches will be contested under spin the wheel, make a deal rules. Butters, I know you got the list. Read them off to me, my man. What kind of matches could we see at Halloween Havoc?
So the matches are as follow. The Coal Miners match, which is a glove on a pole match. This is it's an old WCW spin the wheel bit. So they brought it back. Trick or street fight. A blindfold match. A casket match.
Okay, I like that.
A Chamber of Horrors match. Bikers chain match. Buried alive match.
I like that though.
Devil's Playground match.
Ugh.
A Boiler Room Brawl.
I'm okay with that.
I am too. Weapons Wild match.
Nope,
So my
that sounds dumb.
To me, it sounds like a hardcore street fight match. And then
Okay.
the last one is Shotzi's Choice.
Wow. That's
11.
anticlimactic.
11 choices. The whole Coal Miners Glove on a Pole match was an old WCW Halloween Havoc spin the wheel, seal the deal match. So I guess if you're bringing back Halloween Havoc, you might as well bring back the spin the wheel with the classic coal miner match.
Nope. Absolutely not.
And what is wrong with my description for NXT?
Let me read this to you people. Okay, so I'm at work, right? Like I said, we pulled back the curtain. We told you how these shows kind of come together. And Butters finally sends me over the show criterion, and I'm looking it over, making sure there's nothing that I need to kind of mentally prepare myself for. And then I start to read his show description. And if you're on YouTube, you can see it in the show description there, because that's where we post it. But for those of you that aren't, here we go. Night 2 of the draft has come and gone. Join us as we discuss the 2020 draft as an overall and compare it to past drafts. Okay, we'll teach you the English language later. I didn't proofread this. NXT saw new number 1 contenders to the North American Championship and Women's Championship. Halloween Havoc shaping up to be a spooktacular event, or does it stand a ghost of a chance compared to other takeovers? I'm going to repeat that for those of you that weren't paying attention.
You forgot
Is
the is.
Halloween Havoc shaping up to be a spooktacular event, or does it stand a ghost of a chance compared to other takeovers?
I thought it was a good one.
Chat, I'm going to ask the chat. What do you think of Butters' line? Is Halloween Havoc shaping up to be a spooktacular event, or does it stand a ghost of a chance compared to other takeovers? Let me give you my thoughts while we wait for the chat.
Roast me!
Spooktacular?
Hey, it's a take on. Is it going to be a spectacular event? It's Halloween.
No shit. I know what it's a take on.
Hey, take on, take over.
Did you legitimately try to sit there and do a spooktacular pun? Are you for real, bro? And then, does it stand a ghost of a chance? Rob Stroop, that was kind of ghoulish, Butters. Damn it, Rob! Joey's on my side. Joey thinks it sucked. But Kevin took your question seriously. He thinks it will stand a ghost of a chance to compare to other takeovers. But, all right, first of all, bro, you ever try something like that again? I will pay somebody to walk into Cards and Comics in Conroe, which, by the way, guys, check them out. Get some awesome collectibles, some cards, some comics. See Rob. Tell him Butters and Rich sent you up there. I will pay somebody to walk up in there and beat you.
Just set me up a wrestling match. We already talked about that last week.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be you versus Chrome. It's going to be you versus Chrome. Ryan's going to be the special referee, and me and Pete are going to be on commentary. And Maddie's going to be the guest ring announcer and then join us on commentary, too. We're going to do a 3-man booth.
Oh, you're going to do a 3-way, huh?
Well, Maddie's got to be... hold on. Maddie's got to be the play-by-play because Pete and I will just sit there and roast you and Chrome. Matt, I've already got it figured out. DiMartino, how much we talking? Well, Joey, I'm not paying for your plane ticket, if that's the question. Damien goes, somebody needs to call Nia to put brothers to a table. He might enjoy that. Hey,
it's Nia. You never know. Woo-hoo.
Oh, you and Ralph have a mutual crush. It's cute. Oh, God. What a train wreck tonight's been. But you know what, though? Here's what I figured out.
I think I'm punny.
I think you're dumb. Here's what I figured out, though. Like, I don't think we have a good show unless it's an absolute just cluster. Right? Like, between our fam in the chat, it's guaranteed you're going to do something dumb.
Or say something dumb, I mean.
Because now we have this. And this is just one of very many things that will happen with that photo.
Yeah.
And you and I get to sit here and talk for an hour and a half and just have a good time. And you know who we have to thank for all of this? The Godfather himself, Tom Arnone. But more importantly, we have to thank our sponsors. We have to thank Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Check him out on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Or he's got 3 locations, Cherry Hill, Princeton, and Burlington, New Jersey. Also, Michael Ambrose and the guys over at Ambuck Services. They are the gutter and deck experts of South Jersey. Make sure you call them at 856-879-5530. Tell them that the guys at A2D sent you. Chrome is finally here saying, hey, fellas, I have to disagree with the poll. What's up, Chrome? We're actually getting ready to get off the air, but we all kind of were in agreement, though, just to recap. You know, QB54 brought us that poll question from earlier tonight. You know, best tailgating game in the business at playqb54.com. And our poll question was, did the 2020 draft truly shake up the WWE landscape? Butters, you said disagree. Chrome disagrees with the poll. I broke it down to where I disagree, but I also agree with it because there were certain moments. It wasn't a whole huge thing. Like, it wasn't overall, it wasn't. So, overall, I disagree. You want to break it down round by round, pick by pick? We could probably nitpick it and agree. And we did. That's what we talked about tonight. Philly drinkers, they are the only place that you can find A2D Radio merch. They are the premier place to find A2D Radio merch. You go to phillydrinkers.com/A2D Radio. Alex and his team have the fall collection. You can get your Bad Things Happen in Philly shirt. You can get your QB Factory shirt. You can get this beautiful In This Very Ring shirt. That phenomenal A2D Radio shirt right there. I totally lost my train of thought there because I saw Chrome chiming in again saying how he thought it was a massive failure. And guys, Chrome and Maddie back on Thursday night, they had actually, you got a double dose of lazy booking this week, by the way.
Yes, you did.
Tuesday and Thursday, they had
massive special guests this week.
Huge special guests. On Tuesday night, it was a 2-part Road Warrior Animal memorial show. You had Nikita Koloff and Bushwhacker Luke on Tuesday. And then you had WWE Hall of Famer, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase on Thursday. Great shows. If you didn't catch them, you have to go back and you watch them. But Chrome and Maddie, they do give a little bit of their draft thoughts during those shows as well. Joey DiMartino, In This Very Ring's like a contract signing. It always descends into chaos. But it's fun chaos. Unlike a contract signing where it's predictable and you know who's going to throw the first punch, you never know who's going to throw the first punch on this show. It's usually me because he's an idiot.
Hey, at least nobody goes through a table on this show.
Well, that's a good point. That's a very good point. But, guys, Sam, we thank you so much for joining us each and every week here at HUD Radio. Make sure you check out everything happening. Tomorrow, check out HUD Radio during the day they're going to be down at Ocean City with ESPN Radio doing a pregame show for the Eagles game tomorrow. Agree to Disagree will be the follow-up recap show after the Eagles game. Sports Hounds on Monday. Brinkman, I'm telling you, man, if Lana somehow wins that title, I'm coming on Sports Hounds. I need 5 minutes.
Come on, Lana. Woo!
Chrome and Maddie will be back on Tuesday night with the lazy booking.
Oh, you about to say in this very ring, weren't you?
I really was. Because Chrome's sitting over there saying, thanks, fellas. Let's get on together soon and talk some wrestling. Absolutely.
We'll talk some Bret Hart and Natty.
Uh-oh. Wednesday is in the AM and the PM and the Fix. Thursday, Birds of a Feather and Hockey Happy Hour. Jimmy and Jake come back Friday night for On the Road to Victory. We'll be on Friday night too, more than likely this week. We're probably going to go right before them. And then Saturday, Kicking It Stateside and Weekly Roundup, which actually, huge controversy coming out of the soccer world. So make sure you check out Kicking It Stateside next week so they can talk about that. Only because my entire Facebook feed blew up after it happened. So that's why I say huge controversy. Guys, we're going to get out of here. Make sure you tell somebody you love them. Have fun. Enjoy this weekend. And we're going to see you on the other side. Peace.
Later. Woo.